What's good, YouTube? Today we're gonna do COD Zombies tier list. I have done one of these by myself when I was not recording, but I'm gonna do a new one. I'm not gonna go off of anything off of that or anything completely new. I have played all of the maps as of recent, except for Ghost and World War II. Like, I've recently gone back and played all of these other maps though, so I will have a newer kind of perspective on that. I also have played all of these games when they came out while I was growing up, ever since World at War. So we're gonna get into this tier list today. This is 100% correct, objective. This is the only right tier list. Nobody's tier list is this is as right as this. This is 100% factuals. So let's start at World at War, Knocked and Toten. Now, Knocked. Let's talk about Knocked. That's not where we're putting it. So Knocked, let's see. Obviously the first map, the first game, how they put it after the campaign, how the cutscene is, it's just absolutely terrifying when you first load in. I'm pretty sure everybody that was, younger, they were just absolutely terrified. Me included. I was terrified playing. The teddy bear in the box was absolutely terrifying. But the guns in World at War honestly aren't that good. I know a lot of people love the World at War guns and say they're all better than the BO1 guns and all that. I didn't personally like World at War guns when I was playing it back then, at least. But now, the flamethrower and stuff, I'd never really liked the flamethrower. But as of recent, obviously, figuring out high rounds and all that, I've learned how to use the flamethrower and stuff. But before, I thought the flamethrower was trash. I didn't know how to use it, so I thought the flamethrower was garbage. But other than that, really, Knocked and Toten, it started. For it starting, it's automatically, it can't be F, it can't be E. I think it could be D just because, it's not much substance. There's not much to do on the map. You can high round, but that's pretty much it. That's the whole point, is just survival. So I think I'm going to put Knocked at a D. Just very simple. They couldn't really be lower. I don't think it could be higher unless you just bring in pure nostalgia. But the fact that it started zombies makes it great. Everybody knows it's great. And Verrucht. So we got Verrucht. Verrucht is way innovative of Knocked and Toten, obviously, with the perks, power, with the traps. I mean, those are crucial things that have always been in every zombies map from literally then on there. And that's what made all of these strategies and all of these even Easter eggs viable and stuff for what everybody loved. The ambience, the side things, that little seat where he plays that tool noise, and everybody knows that tool noise is just so eerie. It's just weird, and you just hear somebody screaming. So it's like, this is definitely one of the scariest maps. I think for the scariness, it definitely brings it up a little bit. I'm not sure if I even want to put it C. Obviously, I think it's better than Knocked. I might put it C. Yeah, I might put Verrucht C. OG Verrucht C. Now, World at War, Shino Numa, obviously, new wonder weapon in this map, the Wonder Waff. New wonder weapon completely, changed a lot of things. The flogger trap is honestly insane. You got the water that slows you down. That's the first for doing that. And outside environment, before you couldn't go outside in any of the World at War maps. So I think was cool, especially back then. Me, I was like when Shino Numa came out, I was like you get to play outside. It was a big thing back then. You wouldn't think, but it definitely was. But honestly, high rounds obviously are the thing for this map. But I think just Shino Numa as itself as a map is worse than Verrucht, just because of obviously that scare factor and the replayability. Because Verrucht is insanely hard. Shino Numa is insanely easy because you have the Wonder Waff. I think it's great. I think it's with Knocked also, but I don't think it deserves the C tier with Verrucht. I think Verrucht was a game changer. I don't think Shino Numa was as much as a game changer. It just was with the Wonder Weapon. We got Darius. Now, everything I said, you might be like, yep, where is he going to put Darius? Is he going to hate on Darius? You guys probably think I'm a World at War hater. But everybody knows, I mean, Darius, honestly, one of the greatest maps ever. Brought in the Pack-a-Punch and upgrading your weapons. That was the best thing that could have happened to zombies at the time, obviously. And the layout for Darius is like unbeatable. I mean, the Darius layout is used in every map. The best World at War map, and it towers above them. And everybody knows Darius. Everybody played Darius. I mean, it was the golden standard at the time. There is the first Easter egg actually on this map, which I think is one of the greatest things to ever happen. I'm a big Easter egg player, and this was the first Easter egg I ever did, and I was baffled when I found this out, because like I wasn't watching videos to be able to do this stuff. So I shot the fly trap with the Pack-a-Punch weapon, and I just remember hearing them talking to me, talking about, let's play a game. You have the first Easter egg, and I remember spending days looking around the whole map every time just to try to find them. And it didn't take me until BO1 Darius to finally like figure it out by myself where all the spots were. It was crazy. I think Darius is truly a S tier map. I really can't say anything else. Darius is S tier. Now, let's move on to BO1, one of the greatest games of all time. BO1 is a classic. Everybody, loves Kino der Toten. Kino der Toten is the next one up, and I think Kino der Toten, just the gameplay off of Black Ops 1 makes it so much better, because it was supposed to be a World at War map, and it is basically a map off of World at War. Like, the map is a World at War map, but it is on BO1. And I think the gameplay of the BO1, everything makes Kino der Toten so much better. I'm going to count this as when it came out, not with Mule Kick or anything after the 4th DLC came out. I think it deserves a B tier, right in that B. Everybody loves it. It's one of the most replayable maps of all time, just because of the flow of the map and the wonder weapon of the map, the thunder gun that they introduced, the training spots, the traps, everything makes that map just so replayable. The Easter egg song is insane on this map. 115, obviously. One of the best. I think the Darius Easter egg song is better, but the BO1, 115, it's truly a classic. Now, it's not very innovative from Darius, obviously. They just took the same Pack-a-Punch system, teleporter system, the same everything, basically. The same Easter egg songs, system, and all of that, but it worked. It definitely worked in BO1. It made BO1 great for sure. So BO15, truly insane, a classic. I think a lot of people, we were more younger, so not everybody was like that good at the game, me included. 5 was a hard map, and a lot of people didn't like it simply off the fact that it was hard. But playing as those historical figures, learning about them in school and all that, and playing in the Pentagon as you like, because you're just learning about all that stuff. So then learning about it through here too, the campaign with the Pentagon and all that, and they make it as a zombies map, and I think it was insane. With the elevator, I think the elevator was one of the coolest things. The labs with the random teleporters, even though people say, obviously the classified was an upgrade, but at the time, I mean, the teleporters were crazy. You were just jumping through teleporters, just trying to survive, or catch the freaking Pentagon thief. And I think 5 was definitely better than Kino der Toten, simply off the whole plot of it. Like, it has a plot. It's the Pentagon. It's JFK, Robert McNamara, all of these historical figures, and it was just insane. Especially the cutscene to get into 5 is definitely a classic. Now, I think 5 is also a B tier map, just definitely above Kino, but still in B tier. I think 5 is one of the best aged over time maps. It's definitely aged so well over time. Now let's go for the first DLC of BO1. First DLC of BO1. I mean, could it get any better for the first DLC? I mean, Ascension. It also was a DLC one multiplayer map outside. So the zombies map is outside of that multiplayer map. I mean, even though it was from it, it was its own area and it's a whole own zombies map. It wasn't just pulled straight from the maps, just like Cold War. You know, Cold War is literally the campaign maps, but this is a place right outside of the multiplayer map, and it has its own story. Obviously, it introduces new characters like Gersh and all of these crazy things that we gotta do to help this guy. The radios, I remember on I haven't talked about radios yet, but yeah, radios were one of my favorite things in World at War Doritos. And in BO1 Ascension, I think they have also some of the best radios. First Easter egg, like fully fledged 4 players. I think that alone puts it above any other BO1 map. Obviously, I mean, the special monkey rounds, I think, other than, you know, Nova Crawlers, which wasn't really around, or the Pentagon Thief, this was the first special round other than the dogs. And it was honestly crazy because they would take your perks, they would jump on you, they would eat a whole shot from the thunder gun. They were truly different. Those space monkeys are truly different. I'll just leave it at that. But BO1 Ascension, innovative, Easter egg, everything. Now, I'm not going to try to make this too long. I know I'm yapping about the old games, but these old games are definitely yappable about. Call of the Dead. Now, I'm not putting it anywhere for now, but let's talk about it. Call of the Dead. Number one thing you think of when you think of Call of the Dead is George Romero. R.I.P. the homie. Prayers and respects in Togder Toten every time, you know what I'm saying? But Call of the Dead, man. George Romero. The coolest boss, probably. Coolest mini boss of all time. Tell him you get the Wonder Wall from the other maps as a death machine for, I think it's 90 seconds or 120 seconds or something. Then you got the Easter egg, solo Easter egg. You can do a solo Easter egg on this. It has 2 different wonder weapons. And I know I didn't talk about the wonder weapons on 5 or Ascension, but, you know, 5 has the Winter's Howl. It's trash. BO1 Ascension is just the Thunder Gun again from Keynote or Tone. But Call of the Dead has a freaking gun that shoots. You shoot a zombie and they turn into a human. And then if you shoot your teammate, they get an insta-kill and a zombie blood. So this is the first zombie blood effect in Call of Duty. Call of Duty. And they also have a big lighthouse in the map, the ship, the starting area. I mean, the whole map is insane. It's in Siberia. I mean, one of the coolest maps you could probably think of for a zombie map. And yeah, I think Call of the Dead is the first great BO1 zombies map that they made. I think just obviously because of the storytelling, celebrity cast. You can't forget about the celebrity cast. A lot of ways of transportation, fast travels, zip lines, one of the best things in Call of Duty Zombies. A flinger, one of the best things in Call of Duty Zombies. You know, and they bring all that stuff back, and that's how you know. That's how you truly know that it was good for its time and ahead of its time, really. So I think Call of Dead deserves A tier, to be honest. I think that's our first A tier map. And I think these maps right here are kind of setting the standard for, you know, the other maps. So like, you kind of gotta get up to these levels. Third DLC, beautiful map. That's the first thing you recognize about Shangri-La. And actually, when I was I think I was probably 7 years old when this came out, or yeah, 7 years old when this map came out. Man, the first thing I saw in the trailers was like, oh, it had female zombies, it had women zombies, right? And it was like crazy because like all the zombies were just, you know, normal. They all looked the same. Not all looked the same. They would have different uniforms on and something. But it was all just the male zombies. But they bring it to a place like Shangri-La where it's on freaking Mars. So it's like it's not war veterans or anything. It's like Shaolin monks and all types of people. You got the baby gun, obviously one of the greatest weapons of all time. I mean, anything infinite damage that can bring you a high round and it's not gonna make you, have a terrible time on the game, I think is a great wonder weapon. And the traps, everybody complains about the traps, but I think, giving the player a challenge and like not really letting you just abuse like training or something, because everybody was just picking up training, keynote or totem ascension, Darice, you're just training on all of these maps. And I think they really took that away from us in BO1 Shangri-La at the time. Obviously, nobody liked it, but looking back at it, it's like you got to really play the map, and you have to explore the whole map. And the map is an exploration, even though the high round is sitting in one spot. Like it's sitting in one spot training, but other than that, like if you're just playing the map or trying to do the Easter egg, which is 4 players, but I think it's one of the greatest Easter eggs of all time, just simply because of the story and the actual steps that you're doing. But I never liked that it was 4 players. Obviously, 4 players Easter eggs. Nobody likes 4-player Easter eggs, but the actual Easter egg, if you just take away from the 4-player aspect, is definitely one of the greatest Easter eggs of all time. But the map layout, the way that they make you explore the whole map, because it's literally about 2 explorers who were exploring the map and got trapped in a freaking infinite time loop, it's just crazy. Now, I think I'm going to put Shangri-La above any other BO1 map. I mean, it's truly great, but I think it does bring it lower than Call of the Dead. But it's still a great map nonetheless. Top of B tier for now. And it looks like you can see a trend with BO1. It's very good, it's very just good. Whereas World at War, it starts off somewhere and gets better. It gets a lot better, actually. Alright, so now we're on to BO1 Moon now. In hindsight, everybody hates on this map, but back then, man, the moon, the graphics didn't mean anything to us. Talking about these graphics, Mr. T Lexified graphics. Man, BO3 Moon is graphically beautiful, but BO1 Moon, bro, when Moon came out, it was the cream of the crop. What did they say, man? BO1 Moon was insane. Now, Spaceman, Spaceman, see Jimmy Zielinski, Jason Blundell pop up on the screen and freaking teleport you to God knows where and takes your perks. I mean, Jimmy Zielinski, that man was truly insane. But I mean, blowing up the Earth, going to Earth, and Area 51, all of this crazy stuff that they did for Moon is truly just insane. BO1 Moon is better than Kino. The 5 and Ascension is very close. I don't know. I think 5 and Ascension are very close. I think 5 has a case to be better than Ascension, but I think casually Ascension is definitely better. 5 casually, I think there's a stopping point. You basically are going to die on like round 30 at least. Or at most, or not at most, but you're gonna die soon. Like, you're not gonna. I think BO1 Moon definitely deserves to be better than 5 and Ascension. I think BO1 Moon did enough. I didn't even talk about the Wonder Weapon, and the QEDs. The QEDs are. People don't even know about the QEDs, man. I swear, the QEDs have a billion different chances of doing anything in the world that you don't even know can happen. And the wave gun is crazy. You don't even really have to know how to use it, but if you do know how to use it, it's like you're not it's like playing BO3 or BO4. It's like you're unstoppable. The only thing holding you back on any of these the BO1 games with the wonder weapons is the ammo or the Winter's Howl in 5's case. Yeah, that's pretty much it. top of B tier for both of these maps. I think BO1 was just a very good, great game. Now we get to the remasters. Now, graphically, the remasters are better, and back then when I played that was pretty much all that mattered. Like, I didn't care about the wall guns, and because I didn't like the World at War guns really, and I didn't care, or not the wall guns, the box guns, because I didn't like the box guns in World at War. But I didn't care really about the high rounds back then, because obviously I wasn't a super high round sweat. I was trying to get past round 30 and stuff. But BO1 Nocturne Totem, obviously you can't get high rounds like you can. You can't do, like, there's no flamethrower, obviously nobody likes that, but they bring in wonder weapons. They bring in the thunder gun, I'm pretty sure, in BO1 Noct, and it makes it like kind of easier, but not, because there's way more than 24 zombies per round. But I honestly think BO1 Noct and World at War Noct are respectively right next to each other, and I'm gonna say it's right below World at War Noct, just for the simple fact that World at War Noct started everything, you know. And it's Nocturne Totem. It doesn't look great either way, but so BO1 Verrucht. Now I know a lot of people hate BO1 Verrucht, but I think it is great. Also, I think World at War mechanics are not great. I don't like gravitational zombies that have gravitational pull that pull you towards them that you can't get away from, and then you get hit 5 billion times without Juggernaut on World at War somehow. Those clutches don't feel as rewarding as BO1 clutches to me, but at the same time, BO1 Verrucht, I mean, it gives you the Winter's Howl. I don't think anybody cared about that. I thought it was cool at the time, but at the same time, in BO1, the Winter's Howl is trash. So I think BO1 Verrucht as a map, it's basically the same. For the simple fact that it is not innovative, and I think World at War Verrucht is insanely innovative. I'm gonna put it at D tier, but also top of D tier, just because the map is, I think the map is, Verrucht is better than. But here we go to BO1 Shino Numa. And I personally liked BO1 Shino Numa way more than World at War Shino Numa. That was just because I guess I was really hyped when the BO1 remakes came out. Bro, when Moon came out, I was playing that stuff religiously, man. I was playing DLC 4 every day. I stopped playing multiplayer for BO1 around the DLC 4 time, just because of how much zombies content there was. Like, it's not greater or anything. It's not anything special. It's just BO1 Shino Numa, you know? BO1 Derice, and I think this has no reason being any different than World at War Derice. I get you boys. Everybody loves the PPSH. Everybody loves the flamethrower and all that. BO1 Derice, I mean, it's Derice. Derice is, to me, one of the greatest zombies maps of all time. The map layout, the gameplay of BO1, I think makes Derice infinitely better. I think movement and just, especially like knifing in the early rounds and all of that, the gunplay in BO1 is just better to me. So I just think BO1 Derice is just right there, like, if not 1-to-1 with World at War Derice. I don't see any difference other than the PPSH. That's the only thing that I really care about, is the PPSH. Might have ruffled some feathers with that one. Now I think we know where we're going with this one. Okay, Transit. Now, in hindsight, everybody swears that they love this map. Man, I can't tell you how much I hate this map. This is a F tier map if I've ever seen one. Transit, man, there's nowhere to even start. Just take everything that anybody has said recently about Transit and throw it down the garbage. Let's go back to 2012 or 2013 or whatever it was when this came out. At this point, I'm feeling like a unk, because like that was like 12 years ago, man. This is crazy. I remember it like yesterday. Cool. I thought the buildables were insane. Then you go out to the bus. The first thing you see is just lava everywhere. And obviously it's cool because of what just happened in Moon. We obviously blew up the Earth. But just lava being there and killing you all the time, instant L. And then you try to look around outside and you can't see absolutely anything. So then you try to walk out and go outside of the map, and then you just get a freaking little naked thing just jumps on you and starts ripping your eyes out. So you start having a really fun time off the rip in transit. So then you hop on the bus, and then you realize you're going like absolutely nowhere the whole time. None of the places are like even like, they don't have anything other than power, I guess, and perks in the box. Like, it's just like like going around to the, it's like Outbreak. It's like, yeah, we gotta go to this place to go to the box. But back then, obviously, it was cool riding a bus. Everybody thought the bus was a freaking horse when this game was getting previewed. Like, oh my, I can't believe how hyped everybody was and how terrible it was. So yeah, as you can hear by how I'm talking, I was playing multiplayer. I was not playing transit. I went over to my friend's house a couple times, played transit just because they liked it, but I did not see that vision. They liked it just because it was their first. Black Ops 2 was a lot of my friends' first Call of Duty, but like, I was playing before that, so I was like, man, you guys don't know what we had in BO1, man. This transit stuff is not it. They swore up and down that town was the greatest map of all time and stuff. But yeah, they're just swearing hands up and down that town is the best map. And I know people are probably going to hate me for that, because I know a lot of y'all grew up, BO2 was your first game. I mean, I don't understand it, man. I get it. This is the OG for you. But transit is trash. I didn't even say anything about the jet gun, because are you even going to really get it? I mean, if you do, like, I guess have fun, bro. Like, I never got that stuff. I never got the jet gun back then. I've only got it recently, and I couldn't even really go and grab all the parts. Like, it took forever, man. Like, I was playing without the fog and all that and trying to make the game better. But when you gotta do stuff on your own to make the map better, then it's just terrible. Let's head on to town. I'm gonna rank the survival maps just with transit. I think they're all worse than transit. People obviously like town because it's a survival map and it's not transit. I'm not a big town guy. Town, I mean, it's just the transit town, but with no pack-a-punch, or what, I guess, with no pack-a-punch area. The pack-a-punch is in the lava, and it has an MP5 in the jug room, which is the only thing I like better than whatever transit. And there's no fog, so I guess I'll put town above transit, because transit is absolutely terrible. So yeah, town is better than transit, but Bus Depot, yeah, get the freak out of here. I actually liked farm more than town back then when I was playing it, but I mean, it's nothing. There's nothing on there. I just didn't play. I didn't like playing transit at all. So I was playing farm out of all the maps. BO2 Nuketown, it's trash. It's Nuketown. I love Nuketown as a multiplayer map, and I thought Nuketown Zombies would be one of the best. I definitely thought Nuketown Zombies would be. The perks drop in every 5. Like, I think it's on round 3 you get a perk, and then it's like every 5 rounds or something after that. Or it might be a system to where it could be any of them, but man, you could get Jug on round 25, and like, you're not really gonna get to round 25 without Jug unless you're just sweating so hard. Like, there's no reason to even play BO2 Nuketown Zombies other than if you want to just like hear the noises of transit going down, which is pretty cool. Nuketown, I thought it was gonna be great. The map and play of it is terrible. I'll put it right below transit. It's obviously going to be better than these survival maps. So let's go to Die Rise, and this is the reason that I stopped playing Black Ops 2 Zombies. I was about to stop playing Zombies as a whole when this map came out. It's obviously terrible. They teased PhD on it when it literally needed PhD. So you knew how Jimmy Zielinski felt about us. I was 9 years old, I think, I think I was like 9 years old when this came out, 9 or 10. Yeah, I was 9 years old. This, man, I swear, I was a diehard Zombies fan up until this point right here. I thought Die Rise was going to come and save the game from transit because it was in China. And it was really promising when you like looked at it before it came out. And he's like, yeah, it has a bunch of new buildables that aren't garbage, which was true. You know, it had elevators, which was cool, different than 5, but just the gameplay of the map, you never know where you're going unless you've played thousands of hours of this map. And I've played this map and I still don't know, bro. I've played this map for years. I still don't know where to go, ever. Like I know the buildings. That's about it. But like inside and out, I cannot really navigate as I can on all of these other maps. I swear, these other maps that I haven't even played as much as Die Rise, I could get through these maps in way easier than Die Rise. This map is confusing. It's trash. It looks terrible. I mean, the only saving grace of this map is the Wonder Weapon, the Sliquifier, and they freaking patched it. Like, this is how you know Jimmy Zielinski deserved to get fired. I'm not gonna lie. That man was cooking in BO1 and just said, fuck you guys. What am I doing? He started taking crack. I genuinely believe when when BO1 Moon dropped, he was so high off of this Moon high, he just started doing crack because he couldn't get any higher than that. Dude, that guy is crazy, dude. What was he thinking? I mean, he just absolutely shit on everybody. Probably just because the Easter egg is like not as crazy, as stupid as Transit. I'll put BO2 Die Rise above Transit. But I mean, is it even better? Like, I can't even tell you at this point. Those maps are garbage. I'm just gonna put them garbage, garbage, garbage. I don't even care about the order. Now we got Mob of the Dead now. Mob of the Dead, obviously a great map. My boy Jason Blundell hops in on the scene and absolutely destroys anything this guy was doing. Like, look at what this guy, Jimmy Zielinski, was doing before Mob of the Dead. Look at what Jimmy Zielinski was doing. What is this? What is this? Jason Blundell comes in saving grace. BO2 Mob of the Dead. Insanely great map. Now, in hindsight, actually, let's talk about the map itself. Easter egg, it's nothing really. It's just going on the plane 4 times and getting some audio reels and putting in some numbers. But the side quest, now feeding the dogs, getting the Hell's Retriever, the spoon, just everything in general, the story, insane. Now I have not ranked this yet, so don't worry, I haven't ranked it yet. But this map honestly brought so much to the zombies community. It was like the Call of the Dead cast, the celebrity cast, except for they actually have story and character all of their own. It's separate from the zombie storyline, and it gets bridged into the zombie storyline through actual storyline of Mob of the Dead when it first came out. That's how you know Jason Blundell is insane. Like, he did that when this game came out, or when this map came out. Honestly, the map looks great. Everything about the map, the Blundergat is cool. I wouldn't say the Blundergat is good. The Acid Gat is good. The Acid Gat's insane. I mean, the Pack-a-Punch camos in this map, the Afterlife. Man, you can't say enough about this map. But I do have one thing with this map. I think it is the most overrated map of all time, just in hindsight. Like, right now, people say it's the greatest zombies map of all time. It's not. It's not. I will put it in S tier, right above World at War and BO1 Der East. I do think it is the most overrated zombies map of all time, but it is still a S tier map. That just shows how good it is. BO2 Buried, I think, is another one of the most overrated maps of all time, but it is a great map. Leroy, don't get me started on my boy Leroy Jenkins. He is the homie. I mean, if you ever played Buried, you love Leroy. No doubts about it. You got freaking Jebediah Brown putting his mom in the Pack-a-Punch. And she's taking all of our money. You got crazy Easter egg, the ending of the super Easter egg, which I think makes this map great. And yeah, I think Buried is obviously a great map. It's a very sandbox fun map for a lot of people, especially because it has the bank, the time bomb, the paralyzer, the ray gun Mark II. Everything that it did for the zombies community, they just brought in a bunch of stuff that Jimmy Zielinski obviously knew we wanted, but he was obviously still doing a lot of that meth or crack or whatever he was doing, because what even is this map? Buried underground in Africa and through a time loop and freaking Leroy? Like, what even is this map at all? But yeah, that guy is crazy, but he put that stuff into fruition. I think Buried is a B tier map, but I don't think it's better than Moon or Shang. Obviously, I don't know if it's better than Ascension. I feel like the candy, the booze, the all of the stuff you could do with Leroy and BO2 Buried is a great map. Nonetheless, people can overrate it. It's not the greatest zombies map of all time, but it's still a great Origins. Let's get started with Origins. I have not ranked it. Now everybody knows when this trailer came out, like, we just saw a whole new world of zombies. I'm talking about new versions of our characters that I swear this brought me back to zombies. Mob of the Dead brought me back just to play with my friends, but when BO2 Origins, when I found out about BO2 Origins, man, I was like, this is crazy. I've never seen anything like it. 4 elemental staffs that you can build and upgrade. Never anything is like that been done in zombies. 3 mythology robots, freaking Odin, Thor, Freya. You got a whole Easter egg saving Samantha, who we just swapped souls with in the last game. You got our new characters in a whole different timeline starting all of this and talking about a great war. Remember, Origins is where the Great War talks, all of that started. The battlefields of the Great War a long time ago is what Samantha says. Man, Origins opened up the door for everything in BO3, everything that zombies could have been, and Jason Blundell knew what he was doing, because somehow he totally revamped the zombie storyline and made it even greater than what it was. Because before, it was just a lot of questions. The zombie storyline was a lot of questions, and Jason Blundell said, "You want to question stuff? We'll go figure it out," and he gave us just that. So, I think Origins is the greatest zombies map of all time. There's no, not even. It's not trying to let me put it above Mob of the Dead. Obviously, you got freaking Mob of the Dead glazers hacking my computer, not letting me put BO2 Origins above, but Origins the greatest zombies map of all time. Don't expect to see anything above it. There's nothing like it. There's absolutely nothing like it. And the fact that we get Shadows of Evil as a zombies map after Origins is absurd. Jason Blundell starts a totally different random 4 people, not a celebrity cast, not anything. He just makes up some people, a boxer, a detective, a stripper, and a magician, and he just cooks. And this man just said, here's apothecans and keepers, and go deal with it. And here's a freaking gun of an apothecant. You shove your hand up the apothecant, and it's like, and bro, like, and this man just cooked. He cooked. In a lot of people's eyes, it's the most beautiful zombies map of all time. I think it obviously is one of them. The teleporting system is insane. You get to go to Pack-a-Punch with each teleporter, and you get to go to each district in the Pack-a-Punch through a teleporter, and it's very easy to remember which teleporter is which. There's one up top, and there's 2 on the bottom. It's very easy to just separate and everything. Shadows of Evil brought us different amounts of side Easter eggs that we've never seen in any zombies map before. We have free gobblegums, we have 500 points, we have noir mode, we have little Arnie's upgrades, we got all these Shadow Man side little weird stuff going on, and there's even more that I didn't name there just because there's so much that you can't really even explain it. Shadows of Evil is easily better than Mob of the Dead. It's a S tier map. It's not better than Origins. A lot of people think it's better than Origins. A lot of people say it's the best. And that's mostly because of the graphics, I'd say. And the graphics obviously are stunning. The map itself, the Easter egg, you do need 4 players to complete, which makes, like a lot of these maps that have 4, like Shangri-La, even the Call of the Dead, you need 4 players to finish the whole the entirety of the Easter egg. I mean, all that stuff. Oh, and then we get BO3 the Giant with Shadows of Evil. It came with Shadows of Evil. And I can't, bro, I was on this. You guys saw how much I love the Darius. You guys know I was on this when Shadows of Evil and all that came out. And I was on Dead Ops Arcade. I was on all of that, man. BO3, mwah, chef's kiss. BO3 just completely relived us of all of that agony we just went through BO2. Honestly, BO2 is a garbage game. You really got saved by these two maps. Or these three maps. I'll give Barry the credit it deserves. The Giant is right up there with Darius. It's the same thing. And it also has side Easter eggs. Like, come on, man. Side Easter eggs are the greatest things. Throw monkeys in the teleporter, get dead shot or stamina up. We didn't need much more. I mean, we've gotten a freaking... This is the third Darius. When it's still great. There's no flaws. There's no pushback. The map looks better than it ever has, with a new like vibe to it, like darker. Just, I don't even know how to explain it, but we're still in Germany. We know where this is, the German facility that everybody hears about. Come on now, it's the Giant. Come on, it's Darius. I'm on Darius. We got the first DLC. Man, if any of you guys remember when DE was teased, the freaking trailer of the castles, the wonder spheres, the bows, bro, it was nothing like it. And then all of the zombies YouTuber homies that went and showed us the game early, or showed us this map early, and they had all the insight. I was on Horizon Drock every single day on DE, from when DE came out to when Zetsubo came out. Every day on DE. There was no missing a beat. And it was actually crazy because I feel like this is the map that I played the most with friends. Which is crazy because you would think it would be Keynote or Toten, Darius, Origins, Call of the Dead. You would think it would be one of these 4-player maps. No, it's Horizon Drock, man. Everybody was on BL3 when Horizon Drock came out, it feels like. And I think Horizon Drock is better than Shadows of Evil. Just because of the Easter egg, the boss fight is way 1,000 times billions better. The wonder weapons are cooler. They're not better than the Apothicon, obviously. The Apothecon's just overpowered, but these are cool and overpowered. The Horizon Drock is basically a upgraded Origins graphically and boss fight. Not upgraded, but just it was a newer vibe to Origins. Like, you could see we're on a newer engine, obviously, of gaming. Zetsubo no Shima. Now, there we go for one of the most underrated maps of all time. And you can see where I'm going with this. Zetsubo no Shima. I was talking all about side Easter eggs and side stuff to do. Well, here's Zetsubo no Shima, where you have all of that to do and more. I mean, you got the Skull of Nunsakwe. The Skull of Nunsakwe is the coolest special weapon of any game. For sure. I mean, you crack open a Keeper's skull and you mesmerize zombies with it. I don't think there's anything cooler than that. Zetsubo no Shima, spider boss fight, spider bait. You get to play Samantha's Lullaby on these little pods of water. The 3 different types of water. You get to water plants. The KT4, the Masamune, is insane. The Easter egg is so fun. The boss fight sucks. That's the only thing you can really say about Zetsubo, is the boss fight is terrible. But the boss fight arena is the best boss fight arena, so it kind of makes up. I think that kind of makes up for the boss fight. It doesn't make up for the boss fight, but it makes up for it being so trash. Like, it doesn't make the map trash. And I think Zetsubo no Shima, the graphics, the vibe, the times, everybody was waiting for BO3, for Zetsubo no Shima to come out, and we got it. And it was crazy. The intro where they're all on the ship, and it's just crazy to think about that we just went through all of these maps back to back to back to back. Now, I think Zetsubo is definitely an A-tier map. Definitely an A-tier map. I think it might be better than Call of the Dead. Man, so yeah, Zetsubo and Call of the Dead. The only thing I can say about Zetsubo that is better is obviously the Easter egg, the graphics, and the side quest. I think I might put Zetsubo above Call of the Dead. Only thing I like more about Call of the Dead is probably like the story, in terms of like, you know, saving Richtofen in the gang and all of them. The story for Zetsubo was cool. The only thing about the Zetsubo story that was like stand out was the ending cutscene. And the ending cutscene was so fire. Takio killing Takio out the whatever way they do it. You know, they made that agreement, and it was just so beautiful to watch. BO3 Zetsubo no Shima, A tier above Call of the Dead. We have one of the most crazy waits. It felt like it took forever. Garad Krovi, it felt like it took forever for this map to come out and just be here for all of us. It brought back the PPSH. We have BO3 Garad Krovi, insanely great map. All of the side eggs and all that, the wings, the Mangler helmet, all that stuff is just insane. The Easter egg is so fun. It's difficult the first time you do it, but I feel like after that, it's just fun. BO3 Garad Krovi is truly one of the greatest maps of all time. Garad Krovi is better than Mob of the Dead. Garad Krovi is better than Darius. You guys see, I was giving the Darius all that love. I'm putting my personal bias to the side. BO3 Garad Krovi is a truly great map. BO3, it shows for itself. It's a great game. So I can just say the only thing about Mob of the Dead that would have over BO3 Garad Krovi is that it saved zombies. Here we go. Revelations. The hype from this map, this is the peak of zombies. Revelations. Whether you like it or not, whether you like the boss fight or not, whether you like the Easter egg hunter, this was the craziest zombies map ever. I mean, did we not all want a map that had all the maps on it? Come on now. I wanted that shit. I'll tell you that. I wanted that map. I was trying to play Revelations. I was playing Revelations the whole time, man. And then the super Easter egg with the orb, the RK5, all of that, man. All of that made Revelations great. BO3 Revelations, one of the greatest looking maps of all time, also because it has all of these old places. They just look better, and it's all in space. It looks, the skybox is insane. You have the best wonder weapons on the map. I mean, it's high rounds, it's Easter eggs, it's everything that you need in the zombies map. And I don't think it's better than Call of the Deaders. That's just because of how much these maps just have packed into them. You know, Revelations is great. Now, Zombies Chronicles. Oh my gosh. Who remembers Zombies Chronicles? I mean, everybody does. It's the most sold DLC of all time. Zombies Chronicles was insane. Now, for BO3 Noctur and Toten, graphically way better, but it's nothing different. It just has perks on it because of Gobblegums. But you can play normally on Noctur and Toten, so that's why I think it makes it no different. It is really fun, though, playing with Gobblegums. So I'd say I would personally give it a edge over World at War Noct. But the only reason that I'm not going to is because, obviously, World at War Noct started zombies. And, I mean, this is just Noctur and Toten. You know, it's just your remake. BO3 Verrucht. I feel like BO3 Verrucht is great in the sense that it just looks insane and and they just emphasized on those side things that I was talking about earlier, but it didn't add much to the map, so it's just basically right there with Verrucht. I think it's right there with World at War Verrucht. BO3 Shino Numa, my favorite. This is my favorite version of Shino Numa. And I know a lot of people say, oh, nobody ever plays BO3 Shino Numa. I don't know about y'all, but I like this one more than the other ones. Because, you know, you don't have the taking away your jug on with the Wonderwaff. You know, you get better movement in the water and stuff because you can slide and stuff. And then Gobblegums, I think, just made this map a lot better. So, yeah, it's my favorite version of Shino Numa, but it's not any higher than a D. BO3 Kino Toten, man, it got really washed out after the first. Like, I mean, it was good for nostalgia, and it was good to go back and play it, but, like, I feel like everybody plays this map on BO3 for some reason, and I just don't know why. Like, you go on BO3 right now, I guarantee you half of the zombies players are playing Keynote or Toten. And it just sickens me because how better of zombies maps there are on this. BO3 Keynote or Toten looks amazing. It takes away a lot from the original that everybody knows. You know, obviously, the banners and all that, and all of the things that kind of made this feel like its own map. It kind of just got took away from it, and the gameplay loop is better, I feel like, in BO3. I don't know. It's pretty much to say it's just a sandbox. It's kind of get on to have fun, so I'm going to put it at top of C. I don't think it's even on Keynote or Tone BO1's level, but it looks great. Other than that, let's get to BO3 Ascension. Now, BO3 Ascension actually, looks-wise, is great. Just look at these two covers right here. It just looks way better. Fixes the monkeys with the nukes, and I know a lot of people will put it above just because of that. But honestly, I think the just realness, I don't know, just the originality from BO1 Ascension and everything just kind of makes me like it better. But honestly, I think they're pretty much up there with each other. Not much I can say. They took out PhD. It's a big L. I mean, BO3 should have had PhD in general, I feel like. Even though it's not flopper, I mean, just put it in, man. We want to use the Mustang and Sally's. We want to use explosive weapons. I don't know why they're trying to make... Like, imagine that the L4 Siege with, like, PhD, and if the L4 Siege was actually good. So here you go, BO3 Shangri-La. The only thing about BO3 Shangri-La is that on PC you can run a solo mod and play it solo for the Easter egg, and the graphics are insanely better, and it makes this map look crazy good. I guess you could say that's better, but the map itself, without the mods and stuff, without the solo mod, I mean, it's still just the same map. And I feel like the only thing about it is the graphics. The graphics, though, are insane. I mean, just BO3 in general, like the players, somehow the characters just looking better makes the map better. The traps look better. Everything just looks so much better. The power-ups look better when the monkeys take them. Like, that's like, it's the small things about these zombies maps back then that just made them great, you know. And I think Shangri-La is BO3 Shangri-La. I mean, I think Shangri-La in general is better than Moon. So I don't think there's any reason to put the BO3 version any lower just because it's not any different. BO3 Moon obviously is better than BO1 Moon because of the graphics, because of the graphics and the every time you play, you can play as Richtofen on solo. Infinitely makes this map better. You don't have to sit there and restart for Richtofen on the Easter egg. I recently went back on BO1 Moon and tried to do the Easter egg, and I realized I was playing Nikolai way too late. So yeah, I mean, just those little gameplay aspects, I feel like can put a map like BO3 Moon over BO1 Moon, and it's not really even just because of the graphics wise. I feel like the simple fact that you can play as Richtofen every time on solo, and you can actually have fun and do the Easter egg, makes this map a lot better. Solo Easter eggs make the games way better. BO3 Origins. Everything I said about Origins applies. I don't care what anybody says about BO3 Origins. You can hate on it all you want. It's literally Origins, but looks better and with no glitches. I know people love glitches. I like doing the Easter egg faster as a Origins lover myself, so obviously I like doing the Easter egg faster, but I like playing the map for what it is too. So BO3 Origins is Origins. They're no different to me. To me, they're no different at all. I love both. I play both more than any map. Definitely. Play BO3 Origins more than BO2 Origins, to be honest. Just because it looks better. So now, I know we skipped over Ghost. So I played the first Ghost map, and I didn't play any of the other ones because the first one is terrible. Actually, no, I did play Nightfall. Okay, so I played these two maps. Did not play these maps. See, actually, now I don't even know, because I don't even know what the name of the first map is. Is it Point of Contact? Well, okay, put Point of Contact. I'm registering this as the first map, because I don't know if it actually was Point of Contact or not. But I remember playing Nightfall. So these maps are garbage. I hated Alien Zombies. I did not like it. There was nothing for me there. I didn't know what to do. You're just doing the same thing like freaking these I forgot what they were, but they're like generators. You're just doing that. You're not upgrading your guns from what I remember. I didn't upgrade my guns. So I was just sitting there lost. I played it I played it a lot because I bought Ghost with my PS4 and it was the only game I had with it other than 2K14. It was no different than Die Rise and Transit. I hated it so much. To the good stuff, Advanced Warfare before BO3. Didn't play this because you have to buy the game for $30 and then you have to buy the DLCs. I don't know who in the right mind did that or thought that was a good idea. I wasn't gonna buy it. I know, like, there's no way I can't at least get one map off of the base game. I've played them like once. I've played all of these maps once because I knew somebody who had the game, but I'm not gonna count them because they're trash. So maybe I should put them in F. I did not like any of them. I know Descent is probably the best one. Infection is terrible. Outbreak. I know enough about them, and I know all of Advanced Warfare's mechanics, as in like all those points and the pack-a-punch and all of that. It's trash. Let's get on to Infinite Warfare. So Zombies in Spaceland, to me, another one of the most overrated maps of all time. Now, that does not mean that it isn't great. It's a great map. And honestly, everybody knows about Spaceland. It looks great. It looks great. Stupid special rounds. Nobody likes the clowns. Wonder weapons aren't my favorite. I don't really like the wonder weapons. Shredder's the best one, and I don't like the Shredder. I don't like the Easter egg. I like the arcade games. I like the storyline. I think Zombies in Spaceland is honestly like kind of like a Buried for me. I put Spaceland right above Buried because I do think it's better than Buried. Let's get on to the next one. Raven the Redwoods. I like this map. I think this map is pretty cool. It's not insane like gameplay wise, but looks wise, it's one of the coolest looking maps. I think I'd have to put it in C right above BO3 Kino der Toten and Verrückt. Cause I don't know if it's better than Kino. It might be better than Kino actually. Maybe I should move Kino down. This makes me kind of want to put Kino down because I don't know. Rave is a very thought out map. It has a lot to do in it, and a lot of it makes me confused. So here, I'll keep Kino in B tier just for the love of it. But so Shaolin Shuffle was the next map that came out. Shaolin Shuffle. It looks cool. It has karate moves, which is cool. All of the stuff that looks cool, like it will definitely catch your eye when you like are getting told about this map or somebody's showing you it. But gameplay wise, a lot of people don't like those the special zombies, but they're not that bad. All of the special zombies, I mean, they're not that bad, but this map is just very annoying and it's not that fun. But I mean, if you know what you're doing, it's definitely a viable map, and I'll say it's a C tier map. It's not terrible. Shaolin, it does have a lot of depth to it. The storyline is actually pretty cool in this map. And the just karate theme, I think, is what puts it up there for me. I think a karate themed zombies map is like, I wouldn't have thought about that. That's pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. Attack of the Radioactive Thing. I think while Infinite Warfare Zombies was a thing, I was actually playing this map the most just because it was the only other one that I had, but other than Spaceland at the time. But recently going back and playing this map, I don't like this map at all. This map is trash. Anybody knows it. It looks terrible. The boss fight is weird. Get that freaking crab away from me. And just for the memes, I guess we'll put it in E tier, because like, what even is E tier? Yeah, let's just put in the meme tier. Beast from Beyond, another meme tier. Actually, no, I'll put this down top of F. Beast from Beyond is absolutely garbage. The only thing good about it is the boss fight, which makes it better than Transit. So I'll put it top of F. Just for the benefit of the doubt that the boss fight, the Mephistopheles, is insane. But if you have ever played this map, you would go on there and think, what in the Call of Duty Ghost sex? I don't know what else to say, man. That map is terrible. And then so after Infinite Warfare, we actually go on to World War II, which is the final Reich on this map. And I see we got Groston House here too, so that's pretty cool. Final Reich, I think is a great map. I think it's miles ahead of Spaceland. I think it's better than Moon. I think it's actually a A-tier map. If you were to ask me, I think it's an A-tier map. I think they brought in a lot of crazy new mechanics into zombies that were crazy and cool. The only thing about it is the armor system with no jug. That's the only thing anybody can really say about it. Easter egg and hardcore Easter egg, just perfect. Literally just perfect. I mean, the wonder weapons are so cool. The enemies are insane. The jump scares, even though people hate on the jump scares, I think jump scares are cool. The objectives for the Easter eggs are actually just really cool. It's a lot of defending stuff, which is always cool in zombies. You like defending stuff in zombies. It's the simple things. You know, the story wasn't anywhere. I mean, it was a story to beat the boss fight. And that was what was good about the final Reich. But the whole story in whole was just absolute nothingness. So I feel like that's what can't put it above any of these story-driven maps. As you see, most of mine is like a lot of story-driven maps. And honestly, I kind of want to move this Shangri-La pick up because just the fact that I think even on BO1 Shangri-La somehow manages to look better than the final Reich. You know, and I think BO3 Shangri-La is just leaps and bounds ahead of these B tier maps, and I think that's what the tiers are for. So yeah, I think Shangri-La definitely deserves to be in a tier above. It deserves to be an A tier. My Shangri-La haters are not gonna like this one. Let's get on with it. World War II Groston House. It's nothing. It's a tough zombies map though, but yeah, it's Groston House. Darkest Shore. I actually like this map a lot more than a lot of people did. When the map came out, it got a lot of hate. I actually liked searching because I was searching for the Easter eggs myself at this point. I wasn't watching guides. I was just trying to go out and do it myself. I thought when I discovered how to do the saw myself, I thought it was pretty insane. I'll just put the Darkest Shore above Attack of the Radioactive Thing. The Shadowed Throne. I don't even know what to say about this this because there's a lot in the Shadowed Throne. And there's obviously the survival maps. I don't think it deserves anything more than an E tier. It's probably right above the Attack of the Radioactive Thing. But now that I think about it, honestly, the stupid boss fight in the Radioactive Thing is probably better than the Shadowed Throne itself. Same with the Tortured Path. I think is absolute garbage. Same with the Frozen Dawn, which is even worse than the Tortured Path to me. So there we go. Frozen Dawn is bad. Video wise, I'm pretty sure everybody can agree that these maps are. Black Ops 4. We'll do Voyage of Despair first, and I think Voyage of Despair, obviously it was a big letdown. Big letdown from what everybody expected. Very difficult map, very convoluted layout, but it is the Titanic. Honestly, Voyage, just boss fight, looks, wonder weapon alone. You can't compare it to Shaolin, say it's worse than that. BO3 Vogt is better. Voyage of Despair, middle is C tier. I don't think it's very good, but it is a decent map. It's a cool looking map, and the boss fight is probably one of the best. The Kraken's very cool too. The side Easter eggs are insane on this map. This goes to show how a layout can really bring a map down. I don't think Voyage of Despair is a bad map. It's just a bad map layout. BO4 Classified. Honestly, it's a great map. Some would say it's better than 5. Some would say it's way worse than 5 because it doesn't have a freaking Pentagon Thief. I actually am one of the people. I think it is better than 5. It's actually up there with a couple of maps. I'd say BO4 Classified is probably right under buried. BO4 Classified, it does have a side Easter egg on the. Does have a main side Easter egg, and then it has a main Easter egg, the first high round Easter egg, which a lot of people hate, especially a lot of people on launch, because you actually just couldn't get this 150. You couldn't do it when it came out, so I get a lot of that. But looking back, me personally, it's my highest round. It's my highest round in all of zombies. I have is a BO4 Classified 150. You can check it out on my YouTube channel. But yeah, BO4. It takes a lot of what's great from 5 and just expands on it. It doesn't leave anything out except for the Pentagon Thief. And it adds a lot more side stuff that is just great about the map. BO4 mechanics, they don't hurt 5. I feel like BO4 mechanics are still kind of true to the roots of they're pretty much true to the roots of zombies, except for the specialist weapons. But with BO3, I think we all got used to the specialist weapons, so I never thought it was that big of a deal in the first place. Classified, it has definitely aged very good. Let's get to 9. 9, I think, is one of the most overrated maps also, but it's still a great map nonetheless. I just don't see when people say it's the best BO4 zombies map. I don't think that's true. I think 9 definitely deserves its love. I think it is definitely a better map than the Final Reich, and I definitely think it deserves an A tier. Yeah, I think I'll put it above BO3 Shangri-La. So yeah, we are gonna have some diversity in between the remasters now. Before, I was saying that the remasters are pretty much right there with their OG. Well, I'm gonna go to say that BO4 9 is probably better than BO3 Shangri-La. One, because you can't have the Shangri-La graphics argument. I mean, the 9 looks better. It doesn't look better, but I mean the graphics are better just objectively because of the game when it came out and all that. The Easter egg is not that fun, and the boss fight's pretty cool. It's not the greatest boss fight. Some people will overhype that boss fight. The wonder weapon sucks. I mean, side stuff is cool. Bosses are cool. Tigers are actually cool. I don't get the hate with the tigers. They can be good, but I don't think they're overpowered. And I think on a map like this, you do need that type of stuff because it's a very open map, especially in the middle. Like, you need harder bosses. It's not the greatest map or anything, but yeah, it's a middle to A tier. I mean, I think that's a pretty great spot to be at. Then we got Blood of the Dead, the last of the 4 main maps on BO4, and I go to say, if you are a BO2 Mob of the Dead lover and you're gonna get on me from Mob of the Dead, there's no way that you hate BO4 Blood of the Dead that much. I mean, it's Mob of the Dead, but it looks better. It looks way better, and it has way more stuff to do. And honestly, it might be better than Mob of the Dead. It might just be. The Easter egg, it is hard. It's not really tedious, and it's not really like I feel like a lot of people act like these steps are just like impossible. The steps are not impossible, and they're not that hard, and it just takes time and it takes skill. And I think that a lot of people, when the game came out, were just playing too much Fortnite, and I feel like the community definitely teared this map down to what it isn't. And that is a bad map, and it's definitely not a bad map. Blood of the Dead graphically is one of the best maps of all time, graphics wise. The outro, the boss fight is obviously not that great, but the outro cutscene after the boss fight is insane. Magma Gat is leaps and bounds better than the Acid Gat. The perks on BO4, everybody talks about the perk system, but I mean the perks on BO4 are better than the perks on BO2. They took away our favorite perks on BO2. So honestly, I think Blood of the Dead, the only way that I'd say that it's not better than Mob of the Dead is because of how Mob of the Dead saved zombies, and Blood of the Dead, you could say, killed zombies just because of the perspective of it. But if you're just taking away all that bias, what happened back then, I mean, Blood of the Dead could easily be it is a better map than Mob. It looks a lot better. There's a lot more to do. It's a lot more thought out of a map in general. So I don't really see a downfall of Blood of the Dead other than it's a difficult map, which Mob of the Dead was supposed to be the most difficult map, but it turned out to be easy. So I feel like Blood of the Dead kind of lives up to that hardest map of all time that Mob of the Dead was supposed to be, because I remember when Mob of the Dead came out, everybody swore that this was the most difficult map. They got red eyes. That means that this is the most difficult map because the zombies have red eyes. And I'm not buying it. 2024, it's one of the easiest maps, honestly. Blood of the Dead is a difficult map. And if you say it's not, then there's no reason that it should be a most hated map, because if it's not for the difficulty, then I don't really know what's for all the hate. I think Blood of the Dead is definitely one of the greatest maps. When I go back and I play at Blood of the Dead, I definitely feel like I'm in Mob of the Dead. Dead of the Night. Now, there was literally no announcement or trailer for this. But if you take all of that away, Dead of the Night is a great map. There's so much to do on this map. It is definitely up there with the A tier maps. There's no lower for a Dead of the Night now. You could argue Final Reich with Dead of the Night. Easter egg, even though it's a fetch quest or whatever, but the Easter egg is kind of like cooler than the Final Reichs, because the Final Reichs is pretty simple. I mean, the Easter egg in Dead of the Night has you doing all types of crazy stuff and, you know, killing vampires. Vampires are cool, I think. You know, honestly, I think it might be better than BO3 Shangri-La. I think it's better than 9 for sure. In terms of Shangri-La, I think Dead of the Night has a case. The only thing that Shangri-La has a case for is story. I think that's the only thing that you could say for Shangri-La being better than Dead of the Night. And I think Dead of the Night is better than Revelations, and the only thing that you can say about Revelations being better than Dead of the Night is story also. Because Dead of the Night has high rounds, it has an Easter egg. The only thing about Dead of the Night is the storyline just does not make sense in Chaos. Dead of the Night, almost top of A tier. I don't think it has a case for being better than Call of the Dead, because the Call of the Dead characters are insanely way better. The Call of the Dead story is insanely way better. The only thing about Dead of the Night is the graphics and the wonder weapons, but the setting of Call of the Dead has definitely got it. So I think that kind of puts slight edge over Dead of the Night. Ancient Evil. Now take everything what I said about all these BO3 maps and kind of combine them. Ancient Evil has the best of every world. It has not all the BO3 maps, but it has the wonder weapons, the map travel, it has the Easter egg, it has the high rounds, it has the setting, it has the bosses, the enemies. Everything about Ancient Evil is just so packed with content, and it's a beautiful map. It has everything that you need in a zombies map. And I think, honestly, if you want to talk about an A tier map, it's Ancient Evil, top of A. Just a tier below S tier. It's not S tier, but it's the top of A. This shows you what an A tier map is. I think Ancient Evil definitely does that. Then we go for Alpha Omega, another Nuketown, which they definitely did way better than the last Nuketown on. And they expanded on the Nuketown like we would like that, like how BO2 should have. Like how BO2 should have expanded on Nuketown, giving us the bunker, bringing, you know, different variants of ray guns was pretty cool, even though somehow that's one of the most hated on things I think of Alpha Omega. The only thing I don't like about Alpha Omega is the Easter egg, and I'm an Easter egg guy, and it's just putting a bunch of these codes in, even though I think that's, like, I don't know, I kind of have fun remembering numbers and putting them in and stuff, but Alpha Omega, it's kind of a tougher Easter egg if you're just trying to play normally and not pause the game every second and write stuff down. So I feel like that's the only thing that brings it down, and the map doesn't look good. The enemies in the map look decent. Everything around the map makes the map look good, but like the actual map, like Nuketown, it just looks like Nuketown. I mean, and it's just ran down. It's just the houses with holes in them. Everybody talks about Pack-a-Punch. You know, Pack-a-Punch is very not fun to get. I don't think it's better than Voyage of Despair. I think it's probably above the Noct remakes. And for story, Alpha Omega is actually one of the most story maps. Tag der Toten, one of the most overlooked zombies maps in my opinion. Not underrated, not overrated, but just overlooked. Everybody was done with the game at this point. Even me. I didn't play this map until a couple months after it came out. I loved revisiting Call of the Dead. As you guys see, Call of the Dead lover. I mean, Call of the Dead is a great map. I think taking Call of the Dead, expanding on it, making it so you can fast travel to the spawn room, like how we all wanted it to be, made it very good. I think the Easter egg is so fun. If you've seen any of my live streams, you see I try to do the Easter egg a bunch on this map, try to speedrun it and stuff. You know, it's a fun map. I think the storyline for this map is actually insanely good too, even though it's not what anybody expected. I like it better than 9. I don't know if I like it better than BO1 Shangri-La. Everybody talks about the wonder weapons. They don't know that the wonder weapons did get buffed. So I mean, the wonder weapons are overpowered on Tag der Toten. If you think the Tag der Toten wonder weapons suck, you need to go play that map because they're actually overpowered. The Tundra gun is better than the Helion Salvo. I don't care what anybody wants to say. The Helion salvo drops off. The I don't think the Tundra gun drops off. I think this is how you do like a Call of the Dead Easter egg. You bring in freaking Pablo Manuanovic, whatever his name is, and it's just great. I mean, this Easter egg is storytelling. It has everything. Sitting by the campfire, listening to the Ultimus crew, bro. I don't know how people don't sit back and just enjoy that instead of, hating how it doesn't have cutscenes or whatever. Just as a zombies map and not looking at the times, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to look back in time and be like, oh, well, everybody hated it. I'm trying to look at these maps for what they are now. And I like I said, I went back and played literally every map on this list except for these non-Treyarchs. I played every Treyarch one recently, so it's hard to say that these BO4 maps are even bad because you just got to go play them. Literally is all you got to do. Togdertone, it's up there. I think it's right up there with 9 actually. I think it is. I would play Tog over 9, but I think it is right there with 9, like on a terms of a zombies map. I mean, reimagine Call of the Dead and then Arena Coliseum from back in the days. It's pretty cool. So let's get on to D Machine from Cold War. Now, this one brought a lot of people back to the game. All honesty, it's just Nocturne Toten. The map isn't that cool at all. The map is actually pretty bad. But the Cold War mechanics is what makes this map so fun and so replayable. And I think the Easter egg is good. But it's trash at the same time because it's really nothing. Like, the Easter egg is not anything. It's just getting the upgrades. It's like a freaking kindergarten origins for the Easter egg. And it tells you everything you need to do. Like, I don't know. I can't really even put it above a map like Shaolin Shuffle because Shaolin Shuffle has more substance to it. Yeah, I don't see D Machine being better than any of these maps in C tier. I think it's a solid C though. I don't think there's any way it could be a D tier. I don't think there's any way it's down here with any of these maps because it is a fun map, but it's nothing special, I'll tell you that. And I feel like we're going to see this trending a lot through Cold War. So Firebase Z right under D Machine. I actually personally played Firebase Z way more than D Machine just because it's something new and it had the Ray K and the Easter egg was a lot harder. I feel like you could interchange these. I feel like Firebase Z probably is better. So I'll just put Firebase Z above it. Hot take, I guess. I don't like either of them really. Outbreak came out next. I've went back and played Outbreak and I like it more than I did before. But you can't say anything good about it. Yeah, it's not an E tier, but it's not better than any of the D tier maps. So, bottom of D tier. Yeah, I don't think Outbreak is anything special. It's just Warzone with zombies. Stupid. I think it's very stupid. Mauerder Toten is a good map. It's better than these three Cold War maps. Yeah, I think it might just be right above BO3 Verrucht because this has its own plot and boss fight and Easter egg and all that stuff. It kind of just makes it hard to fight for Verrucht on that one, especially when it's just a remaster. But Verrucht looks great. Mauerder Toten also looks great. It's the best looking map. I think that's why people like it the most on Cold War because it's the best looking map. Then we got Forsaken. I'm going to put Forsaken right below BO3 Verrucht. I do think I played Forsaken the most on Cold War because I like speedrunning and stuff, and I think it's a very speedrun friendly map. You get to play the map for like 14 minutes and you're done. The map layout for Mauerder Toten is better. Boss fight for Forsaken is better. I feel like map layout matters a lot more than boss fights, so we're going to put that in. Here we go. Vanguard. Yeah, it's the worst. I'll put it above Ghost. I'll put Vanguard above Ghost just because Ghost is trash. Vanguard Shino Numa is better than... I mean, it's Shino Numa, but it's Vanguard. So it's like, you take this, and then in the middle, it's probably just right here. It's probably still down here. So, I mean, it has an Easter egg. I mean, it's better than Derong Fong. Look at the name. Look at the name for this tier list, bro. Vanguard Valedicta. This is fucking hilarious. You know what's so funny about this is because when I played this map for the first time, I fucking fell asleep on live stream playing this map, Terra Maledicta. People say it's better than Durong Fong, but for the simple fact I fell asleep while playing this map, puts it worse than Durong Fong. I mean, this map, this game didn't have a pause button, just so you know, or a Pack-a-Punch camo. The Archon, I'm pretty sure, is just green Terra Maledicta, so absolute garbage. Here is the official 100% objective COD Zombies tier list of all time. Starting off with Exodus from Ghost. How many are there? It's not telling me how many are there, so I'm going to just go from bottom to top. Exodus from Ghost, Awakening from Ghost, Mayday from Ghost, Point of Contact Nightfall. Ghost is trash. Probably, so Ghost is the worst. Vanguard the Archon, Terra Maledicta, Durong Fong, Vanguard Shino Numa. Vanguard is the worst. Advanced Warfare Character. Advanced Warfare Carrier, Infection, Outbreak. I almost said Cold War because I said Outbreak. Descent is terrible. BO2 is garbage. Transit and Diarize, truly the worst point of my life, probably. Groston House, trash. BO2 Town, whatever. Beast from Beyond is garbage. You know, World War II is garbage. And then you got Attack of the Radioactive Thing. Got Cold War Outbreak for D tier. Knocked, Tone, Alpha Omega, Knocked. All the Shino Numas and BO1 Verruct in the D tier. C tier, we take a step ahead with some D machines, some actual playable maps in the C tier. You know what I'm saying? D and C is a lot better than whatever E and F is. You know, D and C, you can actually play these maps. I feel like this is how it goes. Yeah, just absolutely unplayable E and down, and then D and up is playable maps. D and C is playable maps. B and A, or B is just good maps. A is great maps. S tier is the goats. D Machine, Firebase, Shaolin, Forsaken, Verruct, Mauer, Voyage, Verruct, Kino. That's a solid C tier. Kino, Rave, 5, Ascension, Classified, Buried Spaceland, Moon. It's pretty good for a B. A tier, World War II Final Reich, Shangri-La, 9, Tiger Totem, Shangri-La, Revelations, Dead of the Night, Call of the Dead, Zetsubo Shima, 8. Ancient Evil. I think that's like a perfect A tier. I think these are the exact A tier maps. The exact A tier maps right here. BO2 or S tier maps. The Giant, Darius, all of Mob of the Dead, Garad Crovey, Shadows of Evil, basically all of BO3, including Origins. Origins is truly different. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, sub, and definitely leave a comment on all of your opinions and destroy this tier list in the comments. Whoever you want, react to this, make videos on this and react, and tell me how trash or good this tier list is. Tell me what you agree with, tell me what you don't agree with, and I will see you in the next one.